International politics is often seen as a world of conflict, competition, and uncertainty. But what if peace is not just a temporary break between wars, but something that can actually last? To explore this idea, we turn to Immanuel Kant. In his essay, Perpetual Peace, Kant asks a bold question: is lasting peace between states really possible? But before answering that, he first explains what peace actually means. For Kant, peace is not just the absence of war. It is not a pause, a truce, or a moment of recovery before the next conflict. Real peace means a stable condition based on laws, where violence is no longer expected. So the goal is not temporary peace, but what he calls perpetual peace. To understand how this could be achieved, Kant builds a larger theory about human nature and society. He believes that human beings are both social and unsocial at the same time. We want to live together, but we also compete, disagree, and resist each other. He calls this unsocial sociability. This tension, according to Kant, is actually what drives progress. Conflict pushes humans to develop rules, institutions, and systems that allow them to live together more effectively. So instead of seeing conflict as purely negative, Kant sees it as part of a larger process. Over time, this process leads humans to create organized societies with laws and political systems. But even this is not enough. Because while individuals may live under laws within a state, states themselves still exist in a condition without a higher authority. In other words, the international system still looks like a state of nature. So Kant asks, how can peace exist between states? His answer is built on three key ideas. First, states should have what he calls a republican constitution. This does not simply mean democracy in the modern sense, but a system where citizens have a role in decision-making and where power is limited by laws. Kant argues that when citizens are involved, they are less likely to support war because they are the ones who will bear its costs. Second, states should form a voluntary federation or league. This is not a world government, but a system where states agree to follow common rules and resolve conflicts peacefully. The goal is to move away from a world where states rely only on their own power. Third, Kant introduces something new: cosmopolitan right. This idea goes beyond states and focuses on individuals as global actors. It includes principles like the right to hospitality, meaning that individuals should not be treated with hostility when they enter foreign territories. This shows that peace is not only about relations between states, but also about how individuals are treated globally. Taken together, these three levels, within states, between states, and across borders, form the foundation of Kant's vision of peace. But Kant goes even further. He argues that history itself is moving in this direction. Even though humans act out of self-interest, conflict, and ambition, these actions unintentionally push society toward more order and cooperation. War, competition, and instability create pressure for better systems, stronger institutions, and more stable relations. So peace is not just a moral idea, it is also part of a long-term historical process. However, Kant is careful. He does not say that we can predict the future with certainty. Instead, he presents peace as something we should work toward, something that is possible, even if it is difficult. This gives his theory a sense of both realism and hope. Now, this is where international relations theory connects to Kant. Alexander Wendt uses Kant's ideas to describe what he calls a Kantian system. In this system, states see each other as friends rather than enemies or rivals, and war becomes unthinkable. But the key point is not the label. The key point is Kant's insight that peace is not given automatically, but must be built through institutions, rules, and shared understanding. So the main idea is this: Kant shows us that peace is not just the absence of war. It is a structure, a system, and a long-term project. And even in a world without a central authority, cooperation and stability are not only possible, they are something we can actively create. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.